Yo, what's up, people? Better Best Dog TV here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. So, we're going to talk about a little bit today. People have asked the question like, yo, how do you manage a multiple dog household? You guys have a ton of dogs. From all the dogs that you have at your house, aka my house, with Nala, Junior, Gia, Hera, the little Frenchies right now because they're with me, Maya, and that doesn't even include Ego sister Envy, and also the Frenchies, aka Macho and Paco, which are the Macho is actually the Frenchies, the little Frenchies is Macho is their dad. Anyways, but I've been asked the question, how do you guys manage multi-dog household? They potentially have a litter coming up as well, and they have people who I've also had people who do have multiple dogs household and are dealing with just a lot of destructive issues and a lot of behavior issues, and managing energy and all that kind of stuff. And when you have more than one dog and they're both active dogs, that can be very difficult if you don't know how to manage your time effectively. Also, on top of that, understanding what type of work your breed needs. So, one of the first things I would always say when it comes to managing a multi-dog household is you want to make sure you understand your breed type, you understand your dog, you understand, the behavior issues, you understand what they potentially need when it comes to even work. What are they meant to do? Because all dogs, for the most part, depending on what type of breed you have, those breeds serve a purpose in terms of, what type of work they do. You got your herding dogs, AK, like for example, your Central Asian Shepherds or even your Australian Shepherds. Then you got, your Malinois, and you got your German Shepherds, who are very high active, high working dogs. And you got, of course, got your Pits, you got your American Bullies, who have that high drive as well too. So it just depends on what type of breed type you have. But understanding your breed type is definitely going to help you better manage your household. And what do I mean by that? Well, say for example, all of our dogs, we are big on routine and structure. We are big on crate training, and we're big on making sure that they work, aka they get the exercise, and we're big on nutrition. So those four things alone help us manage an effective household. From making sure that we let them out first thing in the morning. And mind you, Trev has his dogs here. He has his morning routines with his dogs, and then I have my, morning routine with my dogs. But even then, when I show up here, there's a whole process that we go to even working the dogs. So I normally wake up in the morning. I let all my dogs out. I start with the little Frenchies, and then, I load them out in waves. I let them out in waves. I don't necessarily let them just all go out together collectively, because there's a lot of tension at my house because there's a lot of different females, and there's females who don't like each other. So I'm like, yo, you know what, to manage and keep my life simple, I let them all out in waves, and I understand what dogs can be around each other and what dogs can't. So I let all the little Frenchies out, then I let out Nala. Come on, Ego, work. What are you doing, bro? There you go, good boy. And then, I'll let Nala and Maya out. Then I'll let Junior and Hera out. And I'll let Gia and Macho and Paco out together. And then I'll switch out Gia for Envy. And Envy will be around Macho and Paco as well, too. But I can't have Envy and Gia out together, or Envy and Maya out together, because they'll start a fight with one another. So it is a process, So that's just letting them out. Then from there, I'll make sure they all get amped. They all get rotated, throughout the day, as far as who gets to lounge, who gets to do what. If I'm doing work in the mornings, then I'll go and start my process, but after I'm done letting the dogs out, then I'm like, okay, who am I working first? What type of work am I doing with them? Am I going to do something like a simple bike ride with Junior, and then maybe go through all the ball with Hera and Gia? And then, in this case right now, Nala, she has a hurt leg, so she can only do pull workouts, so I have to schedule days for her to come over here to do work and make sure I get, she gets her exercise in still too, because she's still a very active, high energy dog. So then from there, after I work the dogs, then once again, structure and routine is key, and having a crate is key. When you crate train your dogs, you're able to put your dogs somewhere where they can go rest, where they can chill, where they can eat. And even if you're, you need a discipline, crate is somewhere you always can redirect a dog. But when you're managing a multi-dog household, it is a process. So after I let the dogs out in the morning, after I get them their work, then I get myself together, and then they're good now, so they're gonna sleep. They're gonna get a snack or a good meal later in the afternoon. Then I come over here to HQ, and then I work with Trev's dogs. I get I'll get them on the walk, depending on what I've got going on for them or what we have planned for them. They'll either do three types of work. They'll either get on the pillow, as you see here, like Ego, or they'll go for a walk. I took Tron and Cha Cha for a walk today, and Tron had a weight in his mouth. Sometimes I'll put the vest on him depending upon how hot it is. and then came back, put Ego on the pillow. And then, as you know, we have the swimming pool here too. So sometimes we'll do pool work. Uh-oh, he came off. Ooh, snaggletooth. Come on, Ego, work. Good boy. And then so after I brought, Tron and Cha-Cha back, put them up in the crate. And then I want to put Ego on here, and then I set a nice little timer. I don't know if you guys can see it. I set a timer right here for him for 15 minutes. And he's going to hang on this pillow. And after that, now that the dogs have all gotten some energy out, what am I going to do next? I'll go back to Tron, and I'll bring him out one-on-one, and we'll do some training. And we'll work on commands, And then I'll rotate them out because now they've got their angst out, they got their energy out. So now they'll be a little more calm and focused, and they'll be able to focus when it comes to doing command work. And then I'll rotate them. After Tron, then I'll bring out Cha-Cha. After Cha-Cha, then I'll bring out Ego. And so now we're getting to the part Ego keeps coming off and keeps resetting. So, this timer's gonna be pretty spot on. Probably by the 5-minute mark, when this is all said and done, he'll be gassed. And then, once again, then I'll bring out Ego, and then I'll work with him. And then after that, then I'll go, do whatever I got to do in terms if I want to go get some exercise, if I want to go work out, or if I have work I got to do, or phone calls I got to make, or anything like that, or videos or content we got to shoot. Then we get into the content creation or do whatever we have to do throughout the day in terms of just managing and working the dogs. But for you people, when it comes to managing a multi-dog household, routine and structure are going to be key. I would recommend having a crate, or make sure you have times in the day when you're for sure going to be working or walking them. You understand the times in the day where you're feeding them. And mind you, by the end of the day, when it does come to feeding time, then boom, we feed them at the end of the day. Like I said, anything else we want to do with them, remember feeding time equals training time, but it's a very simple, straightforward process. I mean, I wouldn't overthink it when it comes to managing a multi-dog household. People just kept asking questions like, I have all these dogs, and that's getting to a point where it's hard to manage. But one, you may have bit off more than you can chew, but two, these are things you got to be mindful of before you get multiple dogs. Do you have the time, energy, and effort? Because these dogs require time, energy, and effort. Do you have the financial resources? Because they do need, food, especially depending on what type, if you're feeding raw or cooked food, So these are all things you got to take into consideration, people. But I just want to jump on here, talk just a little bit about managing a multi-dog household. As I said before, it's very straightforward. Just time, energy, effort. Understand the times in the day on when you have to go to work and the things you got to do, and build around that. Like I said, we feed in the evenings. So we know at the end of the day, so they can sleep good throughout the night, and their body can process all the food and nutrition. And obviously, in the first thing in the morning, we let them out, and then we get them going. Let them stretch their legs a little bit, and then after that, I'll come, like I said, work them, walk them. Then after that, then train them. And then if I want to do any other training sessions throughout the day, I have that ability to do so as well. And then I go about my day and go do all the things that we got to do in terms of shooting content, all those kind of things, talking life, doing business, whatever the case may be. But build a solid routine and schedule, have a crate, make sure your dog is crate trained, and then just understand what your schedule is like and build around it. Very simple. Come on, Ego. He keeps coming off. We got 3 minutes left. He's getting tired. I mean, it's probably maybe about 85, 90 degrees here in Texas, and he's in the shade, to be clear. And if he wants to cool off, once again, we have access to the swimming pool. So it's like, and the house is right here, so I can take him right inside. Be in a cold AC environment. Good boy, Ego. So see the grip just keeps loosening less and less. So he's got 2.5 minutes left. But little things like this exhaust your dogs, people. Remember, understand your breed type, know what type of work they need, and make sure they get the work they need. All right, man. Hey, no, he's done. That's it.